Welcome to every movie I've ever seen, and today the movie that I'm going to be talking about is Superbad. Uh, this is a movie that I did not like at all, and that's going to be a little bit of a unpopular opinion, sort of a hot take, so to speak. But I did not like this movie. I could not stand this movie. It just did not work with me. Now, what's his name? Christopher Plotzmintz or whatever. He was fine in it. Uh, Michael Cera did nothing for me, and I really couldn't stand Jonah Hill's character at all. He was just really annoying, and he just yelled a lot and said the F word way too excessively. And I'm not like a stickler for that thing, but just got annoying. It was just like, oh, we got an R rating, we can use the F word. Let's make sure we use two F words every sentence just because we can. It seemed unnecessary, and I just don't think it was as funny as a lot of other people think it is. And I would be curious to see people talk about this movie. I'd be curious to see people rewatch this movie and talk about it today to see how well people think it still holds up, because I honestly don't see a whole lot of people still praising this movie as they do other comedies like, say, Step Brothers. I mean, what do people talk about? What do people quote from this movie besides the McLovin stuff? And, I think there's that GIF meme of Jonah Hill, but I don't know. I didn't find it very funny. I suppose I kind of liked those two cop characters. I want to say Bill Hader played one of them, maybe. Like I said, I don't know. The story wasn't very interesting. The humor wasn't very funny to me, and I could not stand Jonah Hill's character. It took me a while to ease up on Jonah Hill a little bit. It took 21 and 22 Jump Street to like him from a comedic standpoint. He is good in those movies, and I know he's done a lot of dramatic stuff too. I haven't seen any of that stuff either. This movie's really put me off Jonah Hill. For a long time. So it might be a bit before I venture in to see any of his dramatic roles. I don't know if he's more serious or funny in Wolf of Wall Street, but that is a movie that I may end up seeing at one point. But this movie, it's been a while since I've seen it, so I can't, really pick out anything specific that I really didn't like. Jonah Hill. He's just annoying throughout the entire movie, and it just put me off it. There's like, there's like the scene where he gets hit by a car backing up, and you'd think like, even the scene of the character I don't like getting hit by the car, I would just like yeah, hit him with the car. I don't even like that, so I don't know. I think it's the McLovin stuff, and that gets, that a lot of people thought that was funny. Yeah, I thought it was okay. He is, what he does is good in that movie, but he's not doing enough to cancel out what Jonah Hill does, which this is pretty much all I have to complain about, is because I'm watching the movie, and the entire time I'm just not standing him or his character at all. And Michael Cera isn't bringing anything to the table, in my opinion. He doesn't bring a whole lot to the table. Michael Cera. I don't know how well he works as a lead or a co-lead in a movie, and this is coming from someone who's never seen the Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So maybe if I'd seen that, I would get Michael Cera a little bit more. Obviously, he is great in Arrested Development, but he's not a lead in Arrested Development. He's starring. he's a main character, but it's not just him. You know, he has a lot of people that he works off with really great. But in this movie in particular, he's not bringing a whole lot. I think maybe Emma Stone is in this too. I don't know how I pulled that, but I'm just thinking about that now. She might be in this movie. But yeah. Really not much more I have to say about this movie besides I really did not like it. It's made my list of worst movies I've ever seen. Honestly, just because of my dislike for Jonah Hill's character in this movie. Yeah. And that's about all I have to say about Superbad.